When Liu Ruyan drops the classic, "Let's break up, I am too tired" line, Fang Yuan is just casually eating a bowl of hot and sour noodles, replying with a simple, calm, "Okay."
After finishing his very last noodle, he unlocks his phone and opens his payment app.
He heads straight to the shared payment settings, scrolling past her automatic credit card bills, her car loan, her monthly rent, every single streaming subscription, and even her year-long gym membership. The monthly nail salon packages and pet grooming bills go on for 3 whole minutes. There are 87 linked expenses in total, and he starts disabling every single authorization. Since she wants to live a carefree life from now on, she can pay for every single cent herself. Honestly, her bringing up the breakup is crazy. He is not even surprised. He is just low-key annoyed she chose Wednesday of all days. Wednesdays are discount egg days at the supermarket, and he was planning to go stock up right after his meal. "Fang Yuan, we are done," she says, standing right by the door. Her suitcases are packed, eyes red, trying to look incredibly dramatic. She tilts her chin up, clearly putting on a show of having struggled with this decision for a long time. But Fang Yuan just pauses mid-slurp for a split second. "I cannot do this anymore," she whines, her voice trembling slightly. "These 3 years with you have been like living in stagnant water. I do not feel any passion from you." Meanwhile, a few drops of soup splash onto the table. He just grabs a tissue, wipes it clean, and gives her another simple "okay." Liu Ruyan is completely stunned, utter shock written all over her face. She blinks a few times, her lips trembling. She had this whole speech ready, expecting him to beg her to stay, to ask if he would change for her, or if he even loved her. But now, everything is stuck in her throat and she cannot say a single word. "You're just agreeing that easily? Well, he points out you said you were tired." He puts his chopsticks down, adding that if she is tired, they should take a break. She glares at him for 5 seconds. He knows exactly what she wants. Sha's waiting for him to rush over, hug her, and beg her not to go. But if he leaves these noodles sitting, they will get soggy. He is built different. "Fine," she nods aggressively, grabbing the handle of her suitcase. "Fang Yuan, you have always been this cold," she snaps, slamming the door behind her. The slam is so loud, his soup actually shakes. This girl is toxic as hell. He just gulps down the remaining soup and pulls out his phone to get to work. He opens his payment app and heads straight to the shared payment management screen. First item on the list, Liu Ruyan's credit payment, auto-deducted on the 8th of every month. Unlinked. Second item, her monthly mini-car loan payment. 3,800 yuan, due on the 15th, unlinked. Third item, apartment 1802 rent payment, 4,500 yuan on the 1st, unlinked. Fourth item, her annual VIP streaming subscription linked to her phone, unlinked. Fifth item, the golden VIP auto renewal, unlinked. Sixth item, premium music streaming subscription, unlinked. He keeps scrolling for 3 solid minutes. There are so many things on here he cannot even remember subscribing to. Monthly nail salon packages, quarterly yoga passes, you name it. Regular cat food deliveries, makeup box subscriptions, book clubs, counting them all up. 87 active subscriptions in total, running for 3 whole years. Fang Yuan had quietly built a fully automated safety net for her entire lifestyle. All she had to do was live comfortably without worrying about any expenses. But now, our boy is finally cutting the cord and shutting everything down. After canceling the very last item, a card for her pet clinic, he put down his phone to wash the dishes, feeling incredibly light. Then a text pops up from his best friend, Wang Wei. Wang Wei asks about dinner, and Fang Yuan just replies, "We broke up. How about we grab some skewers?" Barely 3 seconds after sending that, his phone rings instantly. Wang Wei screams, "Say that again." Did you really break up? Did Liu Ruyan call it off? Silence for 2 seconds. Then his friend literally screams with pure lottery-winning energy, "Fang Yuan, you are finally free!" He pulls the phone away before his eardrums get absolutely blasted. "Meet downstairs in 10 minutes, my treat." Actually, wait, you should pay. Wang Wei figures he is saving over 10,000 a month now. Fang Yuan does the math. 87 different payments. It actually adds up to nearly 23,000 yuan monthly. 23,000, he says honestly. Absolute silence on the other end of the line. After a long pause, Wang Wei sighs. Fang Yuan, are you serious? I seriously think you were out of your mind. Honestly, maybe he really was. But now he is finally awake. Heading down, he stops by the local supermarket. Remembering there is a discount on eggs, he grabs 2 cartons. A simple pleasure. For once, Wednesday actually feels like a great day. Day 1 of being single. He sleeps in until 9:30, waking up naturally to draw the curtains. Warm sunlight hits his face. Before, every Thursday morning at exactly 7 a.m., Liu Ruyan's alarm would blast. She would not even think about getting up. She would just snooze it, letting that piercing dolphin sound ring again. It used to drag him out of deep sleep, but now, no more annoying alarms. Everything is so quiet, it feels peaceful. He fries up 2 simple eggs. With a fresh cup of coffee, he relaxes on the balcony, scrolling his phone. At 10:15, Liu Ruyan posts an update showing off her aesthetic morning coffee. Her caption reads, "A fresh start. Being kind to myself." The post gets 32 likes and 6 comments, including one from her bestie, Shang Ye. Way to dump that boring guy, girl. So incredibly smart of you. Fang Yuan just leaves a like with a straight face. Then 10:40 hits. He gets a system alert for a failed payment on the video streaming VIP account linked to his phone. The shared premium membership auto-renewal has officially been turned off. Transaction declined. He takes a slow sip of his coffee. This is where the real drama begins. What happens next on her end is hilarious. Fang Yuan only pieces the details together later from gossip among their friends. That morning, she was lounging on Zhang Yu's couch, watching her favorite shows. But when she opens the streaming app, a screen pops up saying membership expired, prompting her to pay up immediately. She is completely baffled. It has always been on autopay, so why is it asking for money now? She closes the prompt and tries another app. Another expired notification pops up the second she opens her music app. Her VIP status is officially dead, and she finally sits up. 3 different acts cutting her off at once? Yeah, that is no glitch. She checks her payment history, but there is literally 0 recent activity. What is going on? She mutters to herself. Shang Ye pokes her head out from the kitchen to ask what is wrong. All my streaming memberships just expired. Alipay must have some weird bug. Just renew them manually then, Liu Ruyan says, tapping the buy button. Boom, payment failed due to insufficient funds. Her credit limit is 20,000, and she already blew 18,000 of it. She checks her actual savings, and there is only 327 yuan left. Liu Ruyan stares at the screen for 10 whole seconds. They were together for 3 years. She literally never had to worry about bills or auto renewals. Rent and daily expenses just got paid on time, as natural as breathing. It is not like she did not know who was paying for everything. She just took his absolute dedication completely for granted. Talk about 0 self-awareness. Her throat goes dry as she calls out to Zhang Yue. Could Fang Yuan have turned off all the payments, she asks, as Zhang Yue hands her a snack? Zhang Yue says he wouldn't go that far just over a breakup. Doing something that petty is just childish, but Liu Ruyan stays silent. She opens the shared payment settings, and the page is completely blank. Every single payment link is gone, and her grip on the phone tightens. Meanwhile, Fang Yuan is slacking off at work, feeling absolutely peaceful. Before, his monthly salary was 21,000, but her expenses cost 23,000. He was losing 2,000 a month, grinding side jobs just to cover her. Now that he keeps his whole salary, it feels like a 10 times pay raise. The author really cooked here. He even treats himself to an extra chicken leg at lunch. Talk about an instant upgrade. Then at 3 in the afternoon, things get interesting. His phone vibrates with a text from Liu Ruyan. She demands to know if he canceled the payments, and he just replies with a simple yes. After typing for a solid 30 seconds, she texts him to stop being so childish. She complains that he should have warned her because her monthly bills are not paid yet. Fang Yuan replies that since she brought up the breakup, they are done. Cutting off her allowances is just standard procedure at this point. The chat goes dead silent before she sends a voice note. He does not even bother listening, and another text pops up. She asks how she is supposed to pay her credit bill and car loan now. The autopay hits on the 15th. He just grabs a glass of water and sits back down. 3 more messages pop up, crying about how she currently does not have a job.
She asks if he can just pay for 1 more month as a transition.
Fang Yuan takes a sip of water and replies with a cold no.
He closes the chat and opens a food delivery app.
He orders a full sugar milk tea, something his ex always banned him from drinking. She claimed it was unhealthy, but now there is nobody left to control him. That first sweet sip hits perfectly, and he just smiles in pure freedom. 3 days after the breakup, his mom calls him up. The moment he answers, her very first words are that Liu Ruyan broke up with him. Word travels fast around here. Turns out her own mother was the one who called. His mom coldly tells him his attitude was way too distant, not even trying to beg her to stay. Fang Yuan leans back and replies that she was the one who wanted to break up, so he just respected her choice. After a brief silence, his mom asks about that 23,000 yuan monthly payment he was covering. Did you really stop paying all of that? Canceled everything? Another long silence. Then his mom's voice spikes with sudden panic and disbelief. Were you under some kind of spell? You were literally losing $2,000 a month for. Your salary is only $21,000 for 3 whole years? Were you out of your mind? Mom, please calm down, Fang Yuan says. If Dad finds out about this, he is going to lose his mind. But she tells him to hold on, keeping the line open. He hears his mom screaming toward the other room, telling his dad the crazy news. She yells that their son spent 3 years paying $2,000 a month to support some girl. Cue the rapid slapping of slippers on the floor. His dad demands she repeat that. How much money each month? His dad's voice literally explodes through the phone. A total of $23,000 a month. Instantly, the other end goes dead silent. The line is so quiet, it feels like the call dropped. 5 seconds pass. Holding back an absolute tsunami of rage, his dad's voice drops to an eerie calm. Remember this, starting this month, you will transfer 5,000 yuan to your mother every single month.
Fang Yuan asks why the sudden demand, but his dad snaps back not to ask questions.
Since you were happy to throw cash at an outsider, you can pay your family back. Fang Yuan complains that the logic makes no sense, but his dad cuts him off. Your mother raised you for over 20 years! What did that other girl ever do? That 5,000 better be sent tomorrow. With that, his dad hangs right up. Staring at his blank screen, Fang Yuan does some quick mental math. From losing money to saving his cash and giving 5,000 to his folks, honestly, a massive financial win. Later that night, his close friend Wang Lei drags him out for some street barbecue. Munching on a skewer, Wang Lei just shakes his head. 23,000 every single month. Over 3 years, that is a wild 828,000 yuan. He stops eating. Looking at Fang Yuan like he's some kind of rare, bizarre specimen, he sighs. Bro, are you literally the only guy online paying to be someone's sugar baby? Fang Yuan begs him to rephrase that, so his buddy decides to put it another way. Fine, you were a willing pack mule who literally brought his own grass to the feed. Fang Yuan just stuffs a grilled eggplant skewer in his mouth, too tired to argue. But seriously, Wang Lei asks, what did you even see in her in the beginning? Looking back, she actually used to be pretty sweet and easy to get along with. But slowly, the massive spending just became a bad habit he could not break. Whatever she asked for, he gave. Eventually, there was just no realistic way out. It is the classic boiling frog effect. You do not realize you are cooked until it is too late. Exactly, Fang Yuan agrees. His friend raises his beer glass to toast to the moment. Here is to finally breaking those chains and reclaiming your absolute freedom, bro. Fang Yuan clinks his glass and lets the ice-cold beer wash away 3 years of stress. The relief is instant, but then his phone suddenly lights up with a new message. It is not from his ex, Liu Ruyan, but rather her best friend, Zhang Yue. Someone texts Fang Yuan, telling him not to be so ruthless to his ex, Liu Ruyan. Apparently her car loan is overdue and they expect him to pay it. Fang Yuan just laughs and sends a brutal 4-word reply. None of my business. He instantly blocks them while his buddy Wang Lei peeps at the chat history. Wang Lei gives him a massive thumbs up, saying tonight's barbecue is on him. Fang Yuan asks why, but his buddy points out the obvious. He is saving an extra 23,000 yuan a month without his gold-digging ex. Honestly, he has no comeback for that and just grins. The feast only costs him 260 yuan. That small amount used to barely cover a single day of his ex's cat food. Honestly, seeing him finally spend money on himself is so satisfying to each. 5 days after the breakup, he gets a sudden text from the bank. It is not from Liu Ruyan, but a warning notification that makes him freeze. The supplementary card ending in 3071 has gone overdue. He realizes he completely forgot about that secondary card. 3 years ago, back when he was still a major simp, she asked for one. In a moment of absolute brain rot, he happily agreed. She got a 50,000 limit while he paid every single bill. When they broke up, he only cut off her online payment apps. He completely forgot that canceling a physical card requires going to the bank in person. During his lunch break, he immediately heads over to get it sorted. He explains the situation to a young female teller wearing glasses. She politely explains that only the primary holder can cancel the card, but he cannot close it if there is still an active balance. Fang Yuan asks how much his ex actually owes. She checks and says it is 47,321 yuan. He asks for the last charge, which was 38,000 at a luxury boutique. That charge was made 3 days after they broke up. Bruh, the absolute audacity of this girl to keep using his card is unreal! She literally bought a luxury designer bag on his dime. Staying incredibly calm, he texts Wang Lei about the 47,000 yuan bill. His buddy replies instantly, telling him to report her to the police immediately. But Fang Yuan replies that since he voluntarily gave her the card, it is complicated. The law cannot easily help, so Wang Lei says to take it as a lesson. He stops replying and silently plots his next move. A moment later, he dials her number, and she answers after just 3 rings. She was clearly staring at her phone, waiting for him to crawl back. She tries to sound completely indifferent as she says his name. He cuts right through the act, demanding they talk about the secondary card. No small talk. He tells her she owes over 47,000 yuan. She has to pay it off completely by the end of the month. The phone goes dead silent before she whines that she has no money. He shuts down her excuses, reminding her it is his credit line she abused.
He does not care how she gets the cash, but he wants every penny.
She complains that he is heartless, but he just coldly repeats the deadline. After hanging up, our boy walks out of the bank right into the bright morning sun. He stands on the steps, taking a deep breath and snapping a quick photo of the beautiful cloudless sky. He posts it with a simple caption. The weather today is actually pretty nice. Just 3 minutes in, and guess who is the very first person to like it? Liu Ruyan. But she immediately unlikes it, though our boy already caught her red-handed. Talk about instant regret. He just chuckles, completely unbothered, and casually strolls right into a nearby convenience store. Buying a simple 2 yuan bottle of water. I mean, compare this to how things used to be. Before this, Liu Ruyan would only drink expensive 15 yuan imported sparkling water, keeping their fridge constantly packed. But now his fridge is stocked with cheap mineral water and a basic 10 yuan pack of cola instead. All these saved expenses finally let him live a normal, peaceful life like a regular guy. Just enjoying life. Then, at 11 p.m. that night, things take a sudden turn. He is about to wash up and sleep when his phone suddenly lights up. The caller ID shows it is Liu Ruyan's mother calling. He stares at the screen for 3 seconds before answering. Aunt Liu sounds as warm as ever, calling him Xiao Fang, but it is all an act. She is incredibly calculating, claiming she knows the young couple is just having a little fight. She says bickering is normal, but accuses him of being way too harsh and extreme, leaving her with absolutely no way out. But our boy cuts her off right there. This is not some silly little fight. We have officially broken up. The mother dismisses it as temporary anger, but he firmly replies it was not impulsive. She was the one who wanted out, and he simply agreed to it. It is a mutual, voluntary breakup. Hearing this, the mother pauses on the other end. Then she immediately shifts the conversation straight to the debt, that 40,000 yuan credit card bill, demanding it be paid off by month end, complaining 40,000 is way too much money. She asks how a young girl like her is supposed to afford such a massive sum. He calmly replies, "Auntie, that debt is on my personal credit card limit." If she fails to pay, he warns her that he will take legal action to protect himself. There is a long, heavy silence on the other end of the line before the mother's voice turns completely ice cold.
She snaps at him. Xiaofeng, if you act like this, nobody will ever want to deal with you.
He just laughs. Honestly, being alone is 1,000,000 times better than dealing with them. At least he does not have to waste 23,000 yuan every month supporting someone else. He hangs up, shuts his phone off, and sleeps. He sets his alarm for 8:30 in the morning, finally free from that awful loud 7 a.m. alarm she used to wake him with.
No more jarring wake-up calls. He sleeps like a baby, completely at peace.
Fast forward to day 7, exactly 1 week since the breakup. He has used this week to get his life together, packing up every single personal item that belonged to Liu Ruyan. Everything is boxed up and sitting right by the front door.
He snaps a photo, sending it to her with a 3-day deadline to pick it up.
Otherwise, it goes straight to the trash. Oh, and step 2, he changed the door lock password. Step 3, he buys himself a 1,200 yuan yearly gym membership. Compare that to her 5,800 quarterly yoga classes. What a steal! This is such a massive upgrade. He also buys himself a nice, firm new pillow. He used to force himself to use her soft pillows, even though he hated them. Turns out a firm pillow is exactly what he needed. In just 7 short days, everything changes. His daily life is visibly getting so much better, and his sleep quality has gone completely through the roof. He is actually spending way less money on food now by cooking his own meals. No more expensive restaurant dates or ordering endless takeout just to show off. His mind is finally at peace, and he no longer has to constantly walk on eggshells around her anymore. She was walking on eggshells, carefully weighing every single word just to avoid setting him off. Meanwhile, over on Liu Ruyan's side, her life has completely spiraled out of control. Her 18,000 credit bill is due, and there is absolutely nobody left to pay it off. Her car loan payments keep failing, and the bank is flooding her phone with collection texts. The 4,500 rent due at the start of the month is completely unpaid, and the landlord has already called her twice. She has been crashing at her best friend Zhang Yue's place, but as time dragged on, things changed. Shang Yue's boyfriend is starting to get pretty annoyed, making it super awkward to keep hosting her. Word on the street is that Liu Ruyan posted a desperate update on social media before immediately deleting it. But someone managed to snag a screenshot of it, though only half of her caption was visible. It read, "All the effort during our time together was taken for granted, and only after parting did I realize." The rest of her post was cut off because she had deleted it in such a desperate rush. When Wang Lei forwarded that screenshot to our guy, he was actually in the kitchen trying to cook braised ribs for the first time. The taste was all right, but he went a bit too heavy on the salt. He glanced at the screenshot, completely unfazed by her drama. He only replied to Wang Lei with a single emoji, making his friend marvel at how insanely chill he was.
He simply messaged back that his ribs were ready and immediately wrapped up the conversation.
Late that night, Liu Ruyan ended up sending him a massive, dramatic wall of text. Between the lines, she was basically complaining about how much she also sacrificed during their relationship. She claimed she wasted her most precious youth on this relationship and definitely did not date him just for his money. She admitted she was occasionally spoiled, but argued that girls should naturally be pampered and tolerated by their boyfriends. Since things had gotten this ugly, there was really no need for her final dramatic question at the very end.
Do you really hate me that much?
He lay in bed, reading the entire text under the soft moonlight.
Staring up at the ceiling in silence for a long time, our guy finally sent his reply. "There is really no hate here," he wrote back. "He is just settling all their accounts one by one." After that, she never sent another message, allowing him to just roll over and fall fast asleep. And then, boom, on the 8th day, the story takes a massive, unexpected turn.
At 10 a.m., while he was working at his desk, he received a WeChat friend request with a note. It read, "I'm Liu Ruyan's former colleague, Li Shan, and there is something I need to tell you."
Liu Ruyan had already resigned and been unemployed for half a year, so this was likely a colleague from her old job. After he accepted the friend request, the other party quickly sent over a detailed block of text.
She wrote, "I don't know if I should tell you this, but I feel you have a right to know.
Liu Ruyan has been secretly dating our former colleague Sun Hao since October of last year." She added that she honestly thought the two of them had broken up a long time ago. Hearing that they only officially broke up last week came as a massive shock. Apparently, quite a few veteran colleagues at the company knew all about their relationship. Attached below the message were two shocking photos showing Liu Ruyan and another coworker acting incredibly intimate together. They were snuggling close, with the photo timestamps locked in November of last year. He carefully looked through both pictures, his heart rate completely steady without a single flutter. He felt absolutely no anger or sadness in his heart, only a sense of clear, absolute closure. It turns out her constant complaining about being exhausted and wanting to split up back then was a lie. It was never because her feelings had faded, but because she already had a new target lined up. No shot she thought she'd get away with this. He simply screenshotted the chat logs. Exiting the app, he went back to work, only letting his fingers tap the desk during lunch as he thought. Piecing together the entire timeline, out of the $47,000 owed on his secondary card, things made sense. $38,000 of it was spent on a luxury bag swiped on the third day of their breakup. Clearly, that was a little welcome gift for her new lover, Sun Hao, and our boy Fang Yuan just smirks with a cold, mocking smile. He drafts a message to Liu Ruyan. No need to wait until the end of the month to settle the supplementary card bill. Pay it all back within 3 days or he's taking her straight to court. She replies almost instantly, panic practically dripping from her messages. Fang Yuan? Are you crazy? How am I supposed to get over 40,000 yuan in just 3 days? Fang Yuan doesn't even bother replying. Instead, he reaches out to his lawyer friend, Chen Wei. He asks him to draft a formal demand letter. Once Chen Wei hears the whole story, he adjusts his glasses. Using a supplementary card after a breakup without permission is highly illegal.
It's basically unjust enrichment. She is literally occupying someone else's property without any right.
Winning this lawsuit is a total breeze. Honestly, seeing him finally stand up for himself feels so good. He spent a fortune supporting her during their relationship. Can he get those major expenses back too? In a relationship, any massive spending that goes way beyond normal daily living costs? As long as you gather all the transaction receipts, the court has precedent supporting a full refund of those stored bills. All details of 3 years of transactions are fully backed up on his phone. Just pack everything up and send it over, Chen Wei says as Fang Yuan walks out of the law firm. The weather is perfect outside. He stops by a street cart and buys a 5 yuan grilled sausage. And honestly, eating it while walking down the street feels absolutely amazing.
Back in the day, Liu Ruyan always complained that street food was way too unhygienic.
She strictly banned him from ever eating it. But now, nobody is here to control him anymore.
He can eat whatever he wants. Right then, a new notification from Liu Ruyan pops up on his phone.
Do you really have to be this incredibly petty? She asks, while Fang Yuan casually chews on his food. He types back with one hand. You spent over 800,000 yuan of my money in 3 years. Only asking for 47,000 yuan back right now is already a massive discount. After sending that, his chat screen goes completely silent. No more replies from her. Fang Yuan finishes his sausage, wipes his fingers clean, and smiles. He schedules Chen Wei to mail the legal letter tomorrow. From here on, it's strictly business. 9 days after the breakup, the letter is delivered. Tracking shows Liu Ruyan signed for it herself. Chen Wei sends over the delivery confirmation screenshot. That very afternoon at exactly 2 p.m., Liu Ruyan places her first frantic phone call, but Fang Yuan just ignores it. 2 minutes later, the second call rings out. Still nothing. By 2:05 p.m., a flood of messages pours in. Fang Yuan, what on earth is this lawyer letter supposed to mean?
Are you seriously dragging this to court just over a single card balance?
If my parents see this at home, I'll be so humiliated. You did this on purpose to embarrass me. At 2:10 p.m., then 2:12 p.m., 2 more calls come in. Both voice calls are completely ignored by Fang Yuan. Man, I love how cold he's playing this. Her tone suddenly softens, begging for mercy. Okay, I know I messed up. I can return this designer bag to the store for a refund. Just please give me some time. His colleague Lao Zhao glances at his phone screen and jokes, "Is that your girl texting?" You've got a pretty interesting look on your face. Oh wait, is it your ex-girlfriend? Lao Zhao gets the hint and backs off, while Fang Yuan flips his phone face down on the desk. He goes back to working on his project. At 5:30 p.m., he finally unlocks his phone. Over 20 new messages have piled up, swinging wildly between furious accusations and desperate begging. Her emotional roller coaster is insane. The final text came in at 5:20 p.m.
I'll pay you back, I swear, but can you please just give me 2 weeks?
Fang Yuan thinks about it for a second and replies, "You have 1 week max. Pay up by next Friday."
If she misses the deadline, it is straight to court, and she replies with a simple, tense okay. Honestly, you can just picture her typing that single word with completely frozen, shaking fingertips. She is absolutely seething, but our main character thinks the drama is finally over at this point. But nope, the drama is not over, because on day 10 of the breakup, things blow up again. While scrolling through social media, he spots a massive post from Liu Ruyan's best friend, Zhang Yu. She posted this incredibly long, detailed wall of text that was basically a whole essay. And she even attached screenshots of his chat, warning them to pay back the money or face a lawsuit. The caption was crazy, saying some guys talk sweet and promise the world when they are dating, catering to your every whim, but the second you break up, they turn completely heartless. They even try to claw back every single cent spent during the relationship, treating love like a business. She warned all girls to keep their eyes open and steer clear of trashy guys like him. And she even tagged a few mutuals, which immediately brought a massive wave of angry comments rolling in. Calling him a certified toxic ex, saying even if they did not go 50-50, bringing up old debts is trash. Saying guys like him do not deserve to date, with most comments coming from Liu Ruyan's friends. Honestly, he actually recognized a couple of them. He had met them at group dinners before. Now, he just leans back on his couch, reading through every single insult. But he just smiles quietly, because these clueless people only see the drama. They only saw that one single cropped screenshot, knowing absolutely nothing about the 87 other items. Like those regular monthly payments of 23,000 yuan, which totaled well over 800,000 yuan across 3 whole years. Of course, they do not know the real story, because Liu Ruyan would never willingly admit to that. She would never expose her own greed, so he just screenshots her post and sends it to his friend Wang Lei. Wang Lei gets absolutely furious, saying this is way too far and he is going to go flame them. But our guy tells him to stay out of it. Wait, are we just letting them smear your name? Oh, he is not planning to just take this lying down. He pulls up Zhang Yue's post on WeChat. He does not start a screaming match and he does not type out any insults. There is no long-winded explanation either. He just directly uploads a screenshot of their shared wallet summary. Showing the yearly breakdowns. In 2022, he paid a total of 243,517 yuan. In 2023, it was 271,892 yuan. And 2024, up to the breakup, was another 214,761. That is a grand total of 730,170 yuan over 3 years. Underneath, he types out a quick reply. Love is one thing, but bills are another. I am not asking for any of that $700,000. But she went and swiped my secondary card for 47,000 yuan after we split, and 38,000 of that was brand new post-breakup spending. That money needs to be paid back. So tell me, everyone, is that really asking too much? Once he hits send, he puts his phone down and casually heads to the kitchen to boil some water for tea. He does not even glance at his phone for those 2 minutes, waiting until his fresh tea is perfectly brewed before sitting back down on his couch. And honestly, the payoff here is so satisfying. The comment section pulls an instant U-turn. Wait, what do they mean by 700,000, and how is she spending over 20,000 a month on his tab? The poor guy probably poured his entire salary into her, and in the end, he is only asking for 47,000 back. This is definitely not settling old scores. After seeing the full story, nobody can call this guy a toxic ex anymore. He is literally just a victim who finally woke up. Did Zhang Yu even check the facts before posting this? Did she seriously not double-check the facts first? Just 7 minutes later, something hilarious happens. Zhang Yu literally deletes her entire post. He just smiles and takes a slow sip of his high-end green tea. He could never bring himself to buy this stuff back then, but now he can easily brew a fresh pot every single day. Suddenly, his phone buzzes with a new notification. Yep, it is a text from Liu Ruyan. Fang Yuan, she texts, did you really have to blow this whole thing up and humiliate me in public? He replies with one short, devastating line. You were the one who dragged this into the public spotlight first. He immediately mutes the chat. No overtime tonight. He can finally rest early. No more spending his salary on her. Every penny stays in his pocket. 12 days post-breakup. Unexpected drama starts rolling in, starting with a dozen friend requests. Some are familiar faces, some are strangers. All of them had jumped on the hate bandwagon.
Calling our guy a scumbag, and now they are all sending the exact same apology.
They claim they did not know the whole story before blindly commenting, sending deep apologies. But he ignores them.
He does not decline either, just leaves them hanging in his requests list.
The second twist is even better. The ex's bestie, Zhang Yue, made a brand new alt. She adds him, writing that she sincerely wants to talk, just wanting to chat for a bit, so he clicks accept. He is not looking to forgive her. He is just low-key curious, and honestly, same. Zhang Yue immediately spills the tea about Liu Ruyan and Sun Hao dating. She claims she only found out the truth after deleting her own posts. He replies, and then she says she finally realized she was spending his money while dating another guy. He asks what her motive is for telling him this. She types for a long time before finally sending a block of text.
She says he needs to know that the expensive 38,000 yuan bag
was actually bought for Sun Hao. Now they are living together. But Sun Hao refuses to pay a single cent, living entirely off her, while she used to rely entirely on him. Our guy leans back in his chair. Staring at the ceiling, he connects the dots of this absurd setup. Sun Hao lives off Liu Ruyan, and she lives off our main character. He was literally at the bottom of a parasitic chain, silently feeding them both. With that chain broken, they are about to claw each other's eyes out. Love to see it. He tells Zhang Yu thanks for the heads up, but it is not his problem anymore. She messages back saying she just felt he was treated too unfairly. He chuckles and closes the app. Consider that 700,000 yuan a harsh lesson. A brutal lesson indeed. The 47,000 yuan is his final clean break. Once this debt is settled, all his sacrifices in this relationship are officially over. Totally wiped clean. Then, that afternoon, another wave hits when Liu Ruyan updates her social media feed. No cringy quotes this time, and absolutely no selfies. Just a screenshot of a transaction, 47,321 yuan. The note says they are even now, with a caption about her future life. She claims she owes nobody. The comments are instantly full of praise for her. Everyone loves how she moved on. He opens the transfer page. The amount is perfectly correct down to the cent, but he knows better. There is no way she has this cash. Her balance was under 300 yuan. She owed 18,000 on her credit cards with an overdue car loan. The money had to come from somewhere else. 10 minutes later, mystery solved. Wang Lei sends him a link. An anonymous account just posted a massive rant. The attached screenshots clearly show it is Liu Ruyan's secret alt account. The headline reads, 3 years of love ended by a lawyer's letter. Her post is basically a massive sob story, complaining that she gave him her whole heart for 3 years. She even claims that quitting her job to stay home was entirely his idea. And of course, she says all her spending was just normal dating expenses, denying she ever took advantage of him. Then she plays the victim, saying after the breakup, he cut off all her funding projects and sent lawyers to force her to pay him back. She claims she had to beg friends and family just to scrape together 47,000 to clear the debt. Now that they are finally even, she claims she is finally free of him. She wraps up the post, writing that life is too precious to waste on the wrong person. Naturally, the comments are overflowing with sympathy, calling our main character a heartless monster. Talk about toxic! After reading this masterpiece of manipulation, our guy puts his phone down and lights a cigarette on the balcony. He does not even smoke, but today he really needs a moment to clear his head after seeing her lies. As the wind blows the smoke away, he looks down at the endless city lights below. But here is the thing. Our guy sees right through her. Paying him back was never about admitting defeat. She spent $47,000 just to buy herself the moral high ground, painting herself as a totally innocent, bullied victim. By labeling him as cold and heartless, she completely flips the narrative. Now all their mutual friends will think she is the tragic victim who gracefully walked away from a bad guy.
While he gets painted as a petty, calculative ex, honestly, her manipulation scheme here is low-key brilliant.
He puts out the cigarette, heads back inside, and texts his lawyer, Chang. He tells Chang the debt is fully paid and they can drop the lawsuit.
Chang replies that it is no problem, but adds a warning.
He strongly advises keeping all proof of those large loans just in case she tries to bite back later. Everything is already backed up, so our guy wraps up the call and gets ready for bed. Suddenly, his phone lights up again. It is a call from his mother. She tells him some mutual acquaintance forwarded her the ex-girlfriend's social media post. People are saying he bullied the poor Gray. Listening to this, he just stares at the ceiling.
He explains that the money was actually from her secretly maxing out his credit card after they broke up.
She had to pay. His mom totally gets it.
She just wants to know if he finally feels relieved. After a brief pause, he admits that he definitely does.
Good, his mother says, before mentioning his aunt was actually planning to set him up on a blind date. But she told her to wait until he fully moves on from this mess first. He tells her not to bother. He is actually enjoying the peace of being single.
That is for the best, his mother says, pausing for a moment.
She says losing over $700,000 was an expensive life lesson, but at least now he knows who to trust. And more importantly, who to avoid. He tells her he has definitely learned his lesson. She tells him to get some rest and reminds him to send $5,000 to the family tomorrow. After hanging up, he stares at the dark screen and chuckles with a sense of relief. Sleeping alone that night, he enjoys a peaceful, dreamless sleep without a single worry in the world. By the 15th day of being single, his life is finally back on track. He wakes up at 7:30 every morning and fries up 2 eggs. Then he brews a cup of coffee and checks the news before heading to work. Lunch is just a quick meal at the office cafeteria, and he cooks his own dinner at night. On weekends, he spends an hour hitting the gym and stops by the grocery store to prep for the week. His days are simple, routine, and completely free of drama. Pure peace. Back then, Liu Ruyan complained his life was a stagnant puddle. She was always so disgusted by it. But now, he realizes this quiet life is exactly what he needed. At least he does not have to waste his hard-earned money and energy on a greedy parasite anymore. One afternoon, a random text pops up addressing Fang Yuan by name. It is from Sun Hao, requesting a face-to-face meet about personal matters. This is the guy secretly dating Liu Ruyan. Fang Yuan stares at the message for 10 seconds and replies with one word. Sun Hao instantly texts back, proposing to meet at the Old Street Cafe tomorrow at 7.
Fang Yuan accepts. The next evening at 7, he arrives right on time.
Sun Hao is already waiting in a corner seat by the window. Crisp white shirt, perfectly styled hair. A standard high-class elite, seeing Fang Yuan enter. He stands up to shake hands, but gets left hanging. He sits down, let's talk. Sun Hao awkwardly pulls his hand back as the waiter arrives. Fang Yuan orders a black Americano, the other guy a cappuccino. Once the waiter leaves, Sun Hao breaks the silence first. He claims he knows everything and wants to apologize for the mess. Fang Yuan just stares back in silence. Sun Hao explains that last October, she told him she was already single. He had no clue. He looks incredibly sincere, claiming he felt a male duty to apologize. Sun Hao drops a major warning. Basically, Liu Ruyan's spending habits are way more insane than anyone thinks. Fang Yuan looks up, listening. In just 2 weeks, he witnessed her ordering expensive delivery twice daily. Refusing to walk, she takes expensive cabs everywhere. Public transit is a hard pass, and shopping prices are ignored. He rubs his temples, looking completely exhausted. He makes $12,000, but she blew $10,000 in 2 weeks. Honestly, he just cannot afford her. He honestly wants to know how Fang Yuan survived for so long. Leaning back, Fang Yuan sizes up the 30-year-old sitting across from him. Handsome, stable, and elite. Definitely her target, but she never actually cared about him as a person. She only wanted someone who could fund her ridiculously lavish lifestyle. Instant breakup, no hesitation. Fang Yuan confesses that he never actually survived her either. He lost $2,000 monthly, somehow enduring this nightmare for 3 years. Sun Hao turns pale and gasps. He calls our boy crazy, and honestly, Fang Yuan completely agrees.
He is totally over it.
He pays the bill and leaves. As Fang Yuan turns to go, Sun Hao desperately begs him to wait. Turning back, he hears Sun Hao ask if he still has feelings left. Sun Hao confesses he wants out. But she threatened to ruin his career by causing scenes at his work. Fang Yuan chuckles after a pause and wishes him luck.
As he steps out of the cafe, a light drizzle begins to fall.
Fang Yuan doesn't even bother turning back, just letting the cool rain hit his face. Honestly, the cold splash actually clears his head, and you've got to admit, Sun Hao's current situation is pretty sad, but honestly, he doesn't deserve much sympathy. He chose this path himself, just like how Fang Yuan once willingly took out loans. And signed up for those credit cards, everyone has to face the consequences of their actions. The only difference is that Sun Hao saw through the reality and escaped in just 2 weeks, while Fang Yuan wasted 3 whole years just to break free from her grasp. He can't help but chuckle slightly, picking up his pace toward his apartment.
He's planning to make some hot pot at home tonight as a well-deserved treat.
Day 18. All the drama has finally settled down. Liu Ruyan hasn't sent a single text, and Fang Yuan hasn't reached out to her either. On social media, the people who were just there for the drama are slowly moving on. The whole mess is getting buried under new gossip, and he really thought this toxic chapter was finally over for good. But guys, you know it's never that easy, and late that night, a call from an unknown number completely breaks the peace, and he picks it up. A woman's voice comes through the receiver, asking if she's speaking to Fang Yuan. He confirms, and she introduces herself as an officer from the local police station. She says a woman filed a report claiming he's been threatening and constantly harassing her. He needs to come down to the station tomorrow morning to make an official statement. His mind goes totally blank. The culprit? Liu Ruyan. Fang Yuan closes his eyes, taking a slow, deep breath to steady himself. He asks how exactly he threatened her, but she says they need to discuss it in person. She tells him to arrive before 10 a.m. tomorrow, and he simply says he understands. After hanging up, he just sits on the sofa, staring blankly up at the ceiling. He's completely baffled. All he did was ask for the money she legally owed him, nothing more. He didn't say a single extra word to her, yet she completely twists the truth. Bro, she actually filed a false police report for harassment. Fang Yuan immediately messages his lawyer. He asks Chen Wei if he's free to talk, and the lawyer replies almost instantly. Chen Wei tells him to explain, so Fang Yuan quickly lays out the police summons. The lawyer immediately asks if he still has all of their past chat history saved. Yes, everything is backed up, along with 3 years of financial bank statements. All receipts and delivery records are fully ready. Chen Wei says that's perfect, telling him not to worry since he'll go with him tomorrow. Honestly, she's completely in the wrong, and since his evidence is solid, he's totally safe. He's safe. Fang Yuan stares at the text, typing a quick thanks. Leaning back on the couch, he realizes Liu Ruyan's schemes are way more ruthless than expected. Honestly, she's completely ruthless. The next morning, he heads out. Fang Yuan and Chen Wei arrive at the station, where they are met by an officer. A female officer in her 40s named Officer Liu gestures for him to sit. She pulls out her notebook and asks, "Mr. Fang, the caller claims that after you broke up, you sent multiple threatening messages and used legal letters to stress and harass her. Do you have anything to say about causing her this extreme mental distress?" Fang Yuan simply hands over his phone, telling the officer she can check it herself. Our boy Fang Yuan literally kept every single chat log from their relationship. From the honeymoon phase to the toxic breakup. Every text was there, right down to the final debt repayment. Officer Liu reviews the logs, looking over the massive history of paid bills. Everything is verified and completely legit. He double-checks the back-end digital records to make absolutely sure. He hands the phone back. Wait a moment. Chen Wei whispers that they basically have this won. Her false report is about to blow up. 5 minutes later, the door opens. Officer Li returns, and a nervous Liu Ruyan trails right behind him. As soon as she spots Fang Yang, her face completely drops. Why is he here? Sit down, Ms. Liu. Let's get the facts straight. She sits down reluctantly. The tension here is delicious. The officer gets serious. Based on the massive transaction logs and chats Fang Yuan submitted, He covered almost all of her living expenses during the relationship.
Reclaiming credit card debts through a lawyer after breaking up is completely legal and justified. But she complains that he is forcing her.
Officer Liu instantly shuts her down, saying lawyer letters are protected by law.
Plus, since she already paid it, she basically admitted the debt was real. Her face goes completely pale. She asks why he exposed her private life, but Chen Wei jumps in to counter.
He explains Fang Yuan only posted bills that were under his own name.
No private info was leaked, and her own friends actually started this drama.
Cropped screenshots, twisted facts. He was just defending himself. Officer Liu's voice gets even colder. Ms. Liu, fabricating stories to make a false police report
Comes with serious legal consequences.
Tearfully, she protests that she was just genuinely scared.
She claims she felt constantly threatened, but before she can even finish,
She bursts into tears. Honestly, nobody is buying her crocodile tears here.
Officer Liu sighs, saying they get relationships are messy, but law requires proof.
If she cannot provide any real evidence of actual harassment, this case is dismissed. She cries even harder, looking like the victim, but absolutely nobody cares. The officer turns to Fang Yuan, asking if he has anything else to add.
Fang Yuan shakes his head.
With that, he and Chen Wei stand up and head out. As they pass by Liu Ruyan, she suddenly grabs his sleeve, looking up at him with teary, desperate eyes. "Are we really over?" she asks, and he stares at her once familiar face. A face he used to know so well he could draw it blindfolded. But now she feels completely distant, like they never even met. He slowly pulls his sleeve away. It ended the day we broke up. He steps out of the police station, blinding sunlight hitting his face. His buddy Cheng Wei pats his shoulder and says this chapter is finally closed for good. Our guy nods, promising to treat him to a massive dinner. Cheng Wei does not hold back, and they head to a local Sichuan spot. They order a whole feast, and halfway through the meal, things get interesting. A text from Wang Lei shows the ex deleted all her backup accounts. Her feed is completely wiped, meaning she is officially out of options. No more drama. He just replies with a simple,
He locks his phone and grabs a piece of twice-cooked pork.
Cheng Wei raises his glass, proposing a toast to a completely free and peaceful life ahead.
He clinks glasses in agreement, shouting to freedom, getting a little tipsy by the end.
Cheng Wei drops him off, leaving our guy staring blankly at the ceiling. His mind is messy, but clear as Liu Ruyan's face flashes for a second. It completely fades. He rolls over to sleep. Finally, this toxic 3-year relationship is officially over, and honestly, we love to see it. Exactly 30 days post-breakup, and his entire life has changed. Our main character picked up all the hobbies he used to ignore.
He learned to cook over 10 dishes and finished reading 3 books.
He rearranged his entire apartment, throwing out every single trace of her.
He hit the gym 12 times and lost 5 pounds.
He built visible muscle, and his boss even praised his work plan publicly. He is literally built different now, and his bank account finally broke 5 digits. Honestly, Payday used to be his absolute favorite time of the month. But that joy would immediately vanish once all the automatic payments went through. Now every cent is his. He feels incredibly secure and peaceful. Then, one quiet afternoon, everything changes.
While waiting in line for coffee, he overhears 2 people behind him gossiping.
No shot! Liu Ruyan and Sun Hao already broke up after barely a month?
Talk about instant karma. Sun Hao just could not handle her insane spending habits.
So he dumped her. Naturally, everyone is wondering what she will do next. She had to go back to her parents, but even they are completely sick of her drama. They fight every single day. Meanwhile, our guy just walks out with his coffee. The warm sun shines down, and he just stands on the street enjoying the moment. He takes a sip of his coffee and heads back to work. Honestly, who cares? She has nothing to do with him anymore. His life is finally back on track, and he no longer has to deal with her mood swings. He does not have to worry about his bank balance, eating and dressing however he likes. No more pleasing anyone else. This is the beautiful life he always deserved.
After work, he drops by the supermarket, and the cashier is a young girl.
She seems pretty new, and she smiles warmly after scanning his items. She calls out the total of 128 yuan.
He completes the payment, but she happens to catch his account nickname.
Looking a bit surprised, she tells him that his username is actually pretty interesting.
When he asks what she means, she reads out his hilarious profile name.
Starting today, be an ordinary guy, she reads aloud, giggling to herself. Our boy smiles. He actually changed his username the exact day they broke up.
Before that, his toxic ex, Liu Ruyan, made him use some cringe aesthetic name.
It was just pure fake sentimentality. He says his thanks and grabs his groceries. Night falls, and streetlights cast long shadows on the street. Walking home alone, he suddenly feels a massive weight lift off his chest. Honestly, living a simple, normal life is highly underrated. Just good food and peaceful sleep. No more simping. Every single dollar he earns now goes straight back to himself. No forced changes, no walking on eggshells, just living for himself is the ultimate flex.
Back at his place, he whips up a simple bowl of tomato egg noodles.
He enjoys his quiet dinner, cleans up, and gets cozy in bed to scroll through social media. He sees a post from his buddy Wang Lei teasing that our MC was supposed to buy dinner. He was supposed to return a favor, but the guy ordered an absolute feast. Joking that he almost went broke, showing off a photo of the spread. There is also a selfie of the two, where the MC looks genuinely happy and relaxed. No hidden stress, no forced smiles. He stares at the photo, letting it sink in. He gives it a like, locks his screen, and puts the phone away. Closing his eyes, he gets ready for a fresh tomorrow. No more endless bills from his ex. No more paying for someone else's life, and absolutely no more miserable compromises. Just his own peaceful life ahead. Honestly, this emotional payoff is absolutely perfect. The end.